Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sally Jack's TV mom, and today I wanted to talk about, because obviously it's Mental Health Awareness Day, I wanted to talk about my mental health and how what I figured out about mental health and how I sorted my own mental health out and came off my antidepressants, how it could possibly maybe help you. Well, it's definitely something that everybody should rule out. So welcome to my YouTube channel. I've done this in my car because I feel really, I basically feel so passionate about this. I want to get it done, and I want to get it done now. So I want to talk to you about the mental health state that I was in for 4 to 5 years, suffering with severe anxiety to the point of I felt like I was being strangled and I couldn't leave the house. Panic attacks, which I was having on live television. I'm a television presenter, so I was having them on live television as the director was counting in my ear. That was horrific. I felt like I was going to burst into flames. And then I had slight depression, so it wasn't really bad depression, but I did feel quite down at times. And we weren't getting to the bottom of this. I was very ill. I was constantly had either a chest infection or I had, and if you are mentally ill, you are, apparently the stats show that you're a higher percentage of getting poorly more because you just feel low, and my immune system was low because of this. And there was a whole host of things going on. I've got a massive sort of playlist now on iron and health, which I'm going to go into now, which is going to talk about a little bit about it, but you can read more up about it on my iron and health playlist, because I'm now campaigning, and a campaign was supposed to start this year, but because of COVID has had to be shelved slightly, and I'm hoping it's going to happen next year. But I just wanted to get the word out there that this won't help everybody. That's really important that you know this. It won't help everybody, but it could help some. And what my thing is because I found this, and what was wrong with me, what I want you to do is, if you are suffering with mental health issues, I want you to be able to rule it out. So draw a line and say they either is what I had or it isn't, and then you can move on to the next thing. But where many people are, and I speak to a lot of people, believe you me, I can't tell you, it's almost becoming a full-time job. But I'm getting emails on a regular basis, not emails, messages on a regular basis, every single day from people all over the world, watching my YouTube clips where I talk about my mental health and iron deficiency, and where they're now going to the doctors and now trying to be checked for it, or they have been checked. And of course, and this is the really hard bit for me, it's not being picked up on by the doctor, which is exactly what happened to me. So I was severely iron deficient, and I was severely, and it was in my bloods, but it was never picked up by any of the GPs that I saw or the obstetrician when I was pregnant at the hospital. So, and this is because the NICE comms guidelines are too wide, should we say. That's to get those changed is a massive job, and they'd have to go through, you know, clinical trials for many years to be able to do it. But luckily enough, I stumbled across an iron expert, and I went to the iron clinic, and I saw an amazing doctor called Dr. Caitlin Scott, and I also spoke over email and then later met him, Professor Toby Richards, who is massive in this field. Of course, he's done a lot of studying, whereas your GP is awesome. However, they don't do an awful lot of training in iron, and then they go off what's on the computer screen. There are so many people suffering with mental health, and especially what's been happening over the last year, which is absolutely dreadful. And it's probably made anxiety shoot through the roof, and it's made panic attacks more severe, and obviously depression because you're feeling very low. And it's really simple. Just like me sat here in my car today, looking at the leaves falling off the trees. I mean, it's absolutely stupid, but I've just been thinking to myself, it's so sad that the world is at this place at this moment in time, and it must be making so many people depressed, anxious and panic attacks. Now let me explain what the doctor explained to me, because in 2018, first of all, I had a car accident in January, and then in March my father sadly passed, and my mum and I tried to resuscitate him and we couldn't. So I still beat myself up about that no end. Then we had to move my mum into my dad's house, and it had to be pretty quick. Then my mum then had a stroke, and then that year, then after the stroke, when she came out of hospital, she then fell and broke both her arms and her nose. And then in the summer, I then had a miscarriage, and then later on in the year, my mum had another TIA. And then my father-in-law also collapsed and was rushed to hospital, and both my mum and my father-in-law on the same day at the same time were heading to the same hospital in ambulances. Can you believe that? I mean, you know, you couldn't even write it, could you? So of course my body was very stressed, and I was suffering a lot that year. But then I didn't realize, and this is what I'm trying to get the message across to you if you are suffering with any mental health issues. If you have any deficiencies in your body, then your body is, or you know, any deficiencies that's from vitamins or minerals, then your body is already under stress. So your body is already anxious, it's already stressed, because it's not coping in the field of what it should be. The body isn't at a really good place. So if any more stress is thrown at it, and that's including COVID this year, and any problems that you might have had with family members, or even, oh my gosh, and I hope this isn't you, but even any deaths from COVID that you've had to cope with within your family, then that stress on top of the body is exaggerated, because you're already stressed because of the deficiencies that you're already in. So all I can say is look into every element and do your research. This is what I say: research the heck out of it. I can't tell you how much research I do now, but make sure you're looking in the right areas. So look for that research, look for how you can sort yourself out, and you can get yourself tested. Now, it's really easy to rule out what I had, but listen, I was really suffering. I only told people that were close to me, and I managed to put on an act everywhere else, but I was really, really suffering, and I couldn't even imagine what I'd be like this year with all that going on and having this on top of me. I couldn't even, I possibly would be screaming, and this could be you. So what I've done is, because obviously you need certain things testing to rule out what I had wrong with me, because I've had an iron infusion now, so it's all been corrected, and I'm off my antidepressants. So I came off them within about 12 weeks, and I actually never even spoke to the doctor about it. And now I look back, I did actually have side effects of coming off it, but I was that hell-bent that I was going to come off them. I was that headstrong, because I just thought, you know, this is what's wrong with me, this is what's caused it. And you know what? I've been great ever since. Obviously you get your own anxiety, your own anxiousness, but what I'm going to tell you now is how to do it. Now, I've done many vlogs on this. However, there's a couple of things. You can go to your own doctor, but obviously it's very tricky at these times because of COVID. And then you've actually got to ask your doctor for a full blood count, but also to include iron, ferritin, transferritin saturation, serum iron, B12, vitamin D, and folate. You must ask for those 6 things. Now, this is where it gets very difficult for me. Some doctors are, and this is because I've sent a lot of people to the doctors over the YouTube vlogs that I've done, so I know this is happening. So some doctors are refusing to do it. So if your doctor refuses to do it, I was then at a stage of, well, how can I help? How can I help people? How can I help them do it? So I've actually set up with a blood company, Forth with Life, those 6 bloods that you can have checked for your health and mental health. So I'll leave the link in the description below for you to be able to do it. It costs £62, and you do a finger prick test and draw the blood yourself from home, so it's not an injection, and then you send it off. That's all instructed in the leaflet that you get, and then they will test and get it back to you within 48 hours. Then you can have a look at the guidelines of where you should be. They'll also send you some information from the Iron Clinic, because obviously the Forth with Life have to go from the Nice Comms guidelines as well. But because I was lucky enough, and it was just an absolute fluke that I stumbled across the Iron Clinic, I now know that they've had absolutely tremendous amount of studying into iron. So I know that Professor Toby Richards is a lot higher level than any other doctor, because he's done the most studies over 10 years on iron. So I knew when I was going to him, and I was speaking to Dr. Caitlin Scott, who's a right-hand woman at the Iron Clinic, I knew that I was speaking to the right people. And obviously they said to me, listen, even though the doctor only sort of 2 months before had said that there was nothing wrong with those levels, my levels were too low. So he said, basically, how have you ever functioned? You need an iron infusion. I had that iron infusion, and within 9 weeks I was feeling a lot better, and then off all my medication. And again, in the description below, I'll leave you a link to all the medication that I used to be on. So all I'm saying to you is that if you're suffering, it's Mental Health Awareness Day. There is a stigma attached to it. It's getting better, but there still is. But what I'm saying to you is, if you're suffering with mental health problems, rule out deficiencies within your body. First of all, rule them out. How many people do? Not many. And this is, and I'm going to tell you now, I've actually, with the help of the blood clinic and with the help of the iron clinic, I've actually got quite a few friends and family off their antidepressants, with the help, obviously with doctors as well, because I'm not medically trained, with the help that I've kind of found trying to get myself better. People have actually felt better than they've ever felt in years. So I know it works. I'm living proof it works. I've got friends and family around me that have had the same results. Now, I cannot promise you this is going to happen to you. I absolutely can't, because it may not. Because it might be a totally different issue. But if it is this issue that's causing your mental health issues, you could possibly be feeling better by sorting out a deficiency in your body. And you're never, ever going to know unless you try it. I'm not doing this for any other benefit than to try and help basically anybody that's out there that wants to listen. I was not going to sink, and I haven't sunk, and I don't want to go back there. If this could help you, if this could make a difference, then please try it out. But it could be you that's watching for a friend, it could be you that's taking your friend to the doctors, it could be you that's ordering the blood test for your friend. Please rule it out. And at the same time, you're also getting your vitamin D checked, and I've done a whole vlog on vitamin D. It's really important that you get those levels tested. There's absolute evidence against COVID-19 now and vitamin D deficiency. It's coming out all over the place. I was speaking about it at the beginning of lockdown back in March, and now it's coming to the forefront. It's been on this morning recently. Dr. Chris Steele has been talking about it. It's been in the news that apparently some of Donald Trump's treatment has been with vitamin D. So all I'm telling you is those 6 things, which is ferritin, transferritin saturation, iron serum, vitamin D, B12 and folate, get it checked. Rule it out. But after you've got those bloods, you must take it. And there's 2 places I'm going to give you below for you to take it to, because I want you to get it checked over by a doctor that's actually properly trained and has had vast amounts of training in this area. Because of course, if I carried on going to my normal GP and speaking to doctors that hadn't had that training, I would still be stuffed with medication. So it's really important that you go. So I've got a step-by-step guide below this that helps you every step of the way to show you how to do it for free via your doctors or costing via Forthwith Life, whichever way you want, and then going to doctors to look through it. And if you have got an issue, use either an iron infusion, B12 injections, or you go back to your doctor and you ask them if they can help you. And of course, wherever I send you, they can actually write to your GP themselves as well. Now, I know this is a lot to take in, but this really did help me and got me over my mental health state that I was in. And all I want to do is pass this on to you. This is also true for children. Children suffer with mental health, and the biggest deficiency in the world is iron. The second biggest deficiency is vitamin D. You know, this is a problem, and both of those, and B12 and folate, affect your immune system. So not only are they could be affecting your mental health, they could be, well, they will be, if they're low, affecting your immune system as well. So just rule it out. I hope that's helped. Rule this out and hopefully feel better. Nobody should be suffering with mental health. And although it's incredibly important to sit and talk, that doesn't sort the situation out if you have underlying problems within the body that need to be rectified. I could have talked the hind legs off a donkey for the next 25 years and it would reset me like you reset a mobile phone, but a week later I could have problems, or a couple of days later I could have problems again, and that's because I had a deficiency. You can hear that I'm very passionate about this, and all I want to do is help. And all I want to do is help you if you suffer with mental health issues. So all the best. Follow my guidelines below. And all I'm going to say is draw a line under it. Are you deficient or aren't you? If you aren't, then you move on to the next thing to try and help your mental health. But this is a thing that the whole world needs to know about, that a lot of people could possibly be suffering with, that is causing their mental health. Therefore, synthetic drugs don't need to be needed. It is just a mineral supplement or a vitamin supplement. I love you so much. You can hear how passionate I am, and you can hear how passionate I want to spread this word. I hope it works for you, and if it doesn't, then at least you've ruled it out and you can move on. But this helped my mental health. I wish you all the best. I love you so much, as you always know. Please go and watch the rest of my vlogs if you've not seen it on Iron and Health. And also my YouTube is all about life and all the trials and tribulations that come with it, as well as health. And I wish you well. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you on my next vlog. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And I'll see you later.